So I did my career choice presentation on becoming a clinical psychologist, and I'm Danielle Smith. The career description for being a clinical psychologist includes a broad branch of psychology that focuses on diagnosing and treating mental, emotional, and behavioral disorders. Some of the more common disorders that might be treated include learning disabilities, substance abuse, depression, anxiety, and eating disorders. Many clinical psychologists are in private practice and set their own work schedules, which may include after hours and weekend appointments. Other clinical psychologists are employed by hospitals, nursing homes, and other healthcare facilities. For me, I would definitely want to do a private practice, so I'd be able to set my own hours and make my own clientele. Another career description for a clinical psychologist is that they are employed to help people understand and deal with mental, emotional, and behavioral disorders. In many cases, a clinical psychologist's role will involve speaking with clients to help them understand the perceived cause of an ailment. The career description continued is that some clinical psychologists may favor the use of diagnostic tests, while others may favor analysis of a particular point in a patient's life. Clinical psychologists may also specialize in working with special groups of people such as children, the elderly, couples, and or military veterans. I would probably want to work with the children just because to pick their brain, be cool. Most states, clinical psychologists are not authorized to prescribe medication. In other cases, clinical psychologists may design a process of behavioral modifications or exercise to help patients deal with the issues. I don't think I would want to be able to prescribe the medication just because it'd be a lot more years of schooling. I would definitely do the process of designing behavior modifications to try to help them instead of trying to medicate them. And then the last career description is that if you enjoy the prospect of working closely with people on sensitive issues and helping them process and deal with short-term and long-term problems in their lives, a career as clinical psychologist may be an excellent choice. I definitely want to try to help people, and that's why I chose this career. I think it was a really good idea. The salaries. The average annual salary for a category of professionals that includes clinical psychologists and counseling and school psychologists was $72,210 a year, according to the BLS reports. The national average for the top 10% of the earnings was more than $112,000 a year. Employment prospects and salary ranges typically vary based on individuals' work history and educational qualifications among the factors. So it would be an organizational psychologist would make around $83,580 a year, a clinical counseling and school psychologist around $67,650 a year, which is what I want to focus on, being a clinical psychologist. General include $69,280 a year, and other types are $90,020 a year. I understand that to get more of the higher, or in the 100,000, you would have to be able to prescribe the medication and stuff, but I think I'm good with not doing that and getting around $70,000-$80,000 a year. The job outlook includes growth of 11% from 2012 to 220 for the category of professionals that includes clinical psychologists. This rate of growth reflects an increased interest in the potential of psychologists to assess and treat common disorders, including depression, stress, and addiction. As the population continues to age, demand is expected to grow for psychologists who specialize in treating seniors or who have age-related anxieties. I think this is awesome for me because I'm still in high school, so the fact that it's growing when I'm going to be going through college and looking for a job is great, and it should be able to help me find a job easier. The job posting, I found one in Denver, Colorado as a clinical psychologist for children and or young adults. It's at the Mental Health Care Center of Denver. I would be needed as a full-time child clinical psychologist, which is what interests me the most. The primary functions would be to evaluate general psychology functions of a range of outpatient psychiatrists, clients ranging from children to young adults. Most referrals are made by MHCD psychologist. Essential position functions include program development of children's psychological assessment program at MHCD, supervisions of predoctoral interns and externs, psychology doctoral students, co-supervisor for assessments, interns and externs with the following responsibilities. Administrative functions relate to assessment departments, carry own clinical assessment caseload, active participants in multidisciplinary team, complete special projects such as participation in presentations, research, and other related projects as requested by the psychological assessment manager. Education and training would include prospect students can take a step on the path towards its clinical psychology career by enrolling in an undergraduate program such as a Bachelor's of Arts in Applied Psychology with a concentration in clinical psychology. As of right now, that is exactly what I'm going to be doing when I go to college this summer. Along with that, upon completing a bachelor's degree, students would likely need to work towards